culturally relevant pedagogy, and she gives us 3 pillars. The first is academic success. The second is cultural competence. And the third is social political consciousness. We haven't even effectively dealt with the first one yet. But here's the thing. In order for you to get the first one, academic success, you're going to have to be culturally competent and address social political consciousness. Ashe? But let me see if I can put it like this. We hear a lot about achievement gaps, right? Now, if you're in one of my classes at Clark Atlanta University and I receive a paper from you and you use the term achievement gap, you're going to get a whole lot from me because we've discussed this in class. Because many of our best scholars have said it's not an achievement gap, it's actually access and opportunity gaps. Ashe? Another word that if you use it in my class is deeply problematic. If you use the term minority, I say, who are you speaking of? When upwards of 85% of the world's population are people of color, and you say minority, who are you speaking of? That's got to be the biggest psychological, spiritual, political power play in the history of planet Earth. Minority, a term applied to the majority of the people in the world. Ashe? So it's not an achievement gap, it's an access and opportunity gap. Now I want you to look at the bus on the screen. Do you see the bus on the screen? I want you to look at that because when that bus, it took me a long time to get this bus to move, y'all. This is our access and opportunity bus. So when that access and opportunity bus moves, I need y'all to give me a round of applause. Ashe? I'm working on my technological proficiency. When it moves, that's when I want a round of applause. See, we got to look at our consciousness. Consciousness is mindset. But on the other hand, on the other side, is competence. And competence is the skill set. There were times on my journey as an educator where I had the consciousness, I had the mindset to want to do better, but I had not yet developed the what? The competence, the skill set to do better. And then there are teachers who have the competence, they know how to teach reading or writing or math, but they lack the cultural consciousness, which is the key that unlocks the potential of our students. Ashe? So consciousness is mindset, competence is skill set, and commitment is follow through. Ashe? But in order to bridge this gap, what we found, and these are the 3 things that I want to talk about today, even in the midst of a rising tide of underfunded, underserved schools where our students are underachieving. But what we found that bridges the gap is our mentality, methods, and materials. Our mentality, our methods, and our materials. That's what makes the access and opportunity bus move. Yes, Ashe. Y'all are a good class. I'm going to have to take y'all on the road with me. All right? So Principal Baruti Kafele says, lacking cultural competence is equivalent to teaching a subject you know nothing about. Ashe?